All right, so we're going to get started in just a minute. I'm really excited to bring you a brain camp. So we're going to talk about it. I just want to make sure folks have the opportunity to get online. Want to make sure everything is working. All right, let's jump in here. All right. Chilling that music. Chilling that music. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Let's talk about BrandCamp. Okay, so I'm really excited to bring this to you all. It has been quite a labor of love, just getting everything together and ready. And it's really a culmination of my experience because I worked for a long time in corporate America. As you all know, I started out actually in nonprofits, but I worked for a long time in corporate America, understanding the key tenets of a brand, how to build a brand. And I'm bringing a lot of that to small businesses with BrandCamp. I've set up here a 12-week roadmap, and I think this is the right time. I put out another video talking about it. I think this is the right amount of time. Sure, you could do it faster. Sure, you could do it faster. I wouldn't recommend it though. I think it's really important to be thoughtful about your foundational steps and about your brand. A lot of the things I'm going to talk about at the beginning and for the foundation of your brand are so important that I think it's worth taking the 12 weeks to really deeply think about it. Talk to your advisors, research, understand what's out there, understand your market, understand your audience. So there's a lot to jump into. I just want to quickly introduce you all to BrandCamp and then talk a little bit about the first segment of it, these brand foundations. So first, I want you to be able to follow along. So if you want to get the PDF that we're viewing, you can see it down there. You can visit brandcamp.loganpr.com/roadmap, and that's going to get you the download for this PDF. You have to, register, give your information, and then you will get this PDF emailed to you lickety split. Okay. So let's jump into it here because we're only going to talk for a half hour today. If you have questions, I say live questions wins. So if you have live questions, jump in here. Okay. I'm here to talk to you about your brand and I want to make sure this stuff is connecting. Okay. Brand Camp is a 12-week plan to help accelerate your brand, to help your brand drive value for you and help you understand that value. So I'm not going to talk a little bit about the intro. You can read the intro. You can read a little about me, Logan PR, and the work that I do as a brand manager. But this is where I want to go. Here we're going to talk about the 12-week roadmap. And right now, I'm just going to talk about the beginning. So the foundation, that is the first 4 weeks of BrandCamp. So there's brand discovery and research, there's analytics, tracking, and setup, there's brand strategy foundation, and then your logo and visual identity design. Those are the 4 areas we're just going to quickly talk about today. I am not necessarily the subject matter expert on design. I did audit a lot of design classes, but I am not a graphic designer. You will never catch me saying that I'm a professional in something that I'm not. Do I dabble? I do. I do. We all do. And that's appropriate. But we're going to talk about those first 4 weeks. So let's jump all the way in. We're in Brand discovery and research foundation. Okay, let's talk about it. First up, we're talking about building a trustworthy brand. When I get on with clients, a lot of times I'll have them read Edelman's Trust Barometer, and it comes out every year and it talks about trust in businesses and public entities. And the core of a brand is trust, that you do what you say you're going to do. You show up when you say you're going to show up. Listen, it's important. It's important to note and understand that research is key. Research is key for your brand foundation. So you want to do some discovery here. Google is your friend, as are the AIs. Oh my goodness. The AI writers, listen, if you have not downloaded one and played around with it, you have done yourself a disservice. Great news is you can hop right in there and download ChatGPT or download Jasper or look through. There's some recommendations we make as we go through BrandCamp, but you should download one of those AI writers. I show clients it first thing because they want a good look and feel. They want a good website, and then they want a lot of people to come and buy their stuff. And there's a lot in between. There's a lot in between. They're not saying they're not going to buy your stuff. They're going to buy your stuff, but there's a lot of connecting the dots. So at the beginning, you want to take the time to do this brand discovery and research, right? Understand your audience, understand your unique value proposition. Hey, this is what we do, but we do it cheap. Hey, this is what we do, but we do it fast. Hey, differentiate yourself in a sea full of Canva posts, right? Think about your brand foundation. What is it that differentiates you from your competition? Hey, why did you get in here? What's your story? Always ask my clients that, tell me your story. I want to understand. If I can understand your story, I will find and help you find that spark in the story to share, right? And to understand your brand a bit more. These AI tools are really powerful, man, especially the ones that can search the internet. Whew, listen, get into it. Understanding your audience is really big. Customer personas is something we do when you think about your product. My product is BrandCamp. When you think about a customer persona, I put myself in the place of, I don't want to call anybody out specifically, but I've been getting quite a few calls about BrandCamp. Let's say the plumbing company that I talk to. So this plumbing company contacted me about BrandCamp. If I was thinking about my customer persona, I would say I'm thinking about a plumber who's owned his business for 10 years. He feels a bit left behind by everything going on online, but he has a great business that runs mostly on referrals. And now he wants to add some more employees aside from himself. So he has to create and generate some more business and some more traffic for his business. So that's a customer persona, right? It's not an individual customer, but it's thinking about, hey, this is what some of my customers look like. Bob's the plumber. Bob lives in Baltimore. Bob wants to get more business to his plumbing company. What does he do mostly? He does mostly water heaters, you know? And so you dig in and you understand Bob is really not that focused on his website, not that technologically savvy, but he does want to grow his business and he understands the value in a brand. And these are the platforms that you can reach him on. You see, so when you start to understand your customer, then you start to understand, okay, how am I going to try to reach them? How should I segment out my customers? I have customers like this, but I have customers like this. So when you work through all of this brand discovery and research, it gives you some understanding of where you fit. You know, I love the passion for small business. I'll tell you, I've never felt freer than when I was my own boss, but I used to work 12-hour days when I was employed by everybody else, and I work many more. So, so many more hours. That's for a different conversation. Anyway, so that's brand discovery and research. Take your time, go through it, right? Go through it. Look at your competitors. Look at your aspirational peers. You don't have to call them competitors. If you don't see them as competitors, you see them as people that or companies that you want to be like, companies you aspire to be like, aspirational peer. It's okay. It's all right. And you can aspire to be like them in one way. And they're like me and my parents. Let's go. Let's move on. So we got there are two slides here for every week that we go through. We have the informational slide, and then we have some tasks. So I'm not going to go through these tasks. You can go through these tasks. We're not going to take a whole half hour. It's already 12:41, guys. Y'all know I can go. So let's jump to week 2, analytics and tracking. Oh, you better know your data. Listen, know your data. When you go to the store to buy something, you know that money's in the account, right? If you like me, because you looked at it and you don't want to get embarrassed. I'm not going to talk about that either. Analytics and tracking setup. Don't sleep on your foundation. This is so important. If I could have smacked myself at the beginning of my career, I probably would have focused more on the analytics at the beginning. All of it, everything that was important to me, I would have measured like a maniac. And then I would have said no based on those priorities. Another conversation for another time. This analytics and tracking setup is so key. I have worked with businesses who have been in business for over a decade and never set up their Google Analytics, which is okay. But then we're just going on how you think people are interacting on the website, right? Where we could have hard and fast data. I've been working on that with another client, and I can tell you it is so beneficial. You spending money on the internet? If you are spending money promoting something on the internet and you don't have your metrics set up properly, peace be unto you. Okay. But brands that succeed today are data driven. We can measure everything. We're not talking about newspaper circulation. We're talking about how many people saw it, how many people opened it, how many people clicked on it. We can see it. We can see it. I send out my promo emails. I can see how many people clicked on that email, how many people opened it, how many people interacted with it. And that can give you information to diagnose what you might need to change or experiment on. I tell people we're all scientists. So, case in point, Netflix, data as a tool. It was amazing, especially when Netflix came out. It was like apps were just coming out and everybody was talking about apps, and Netflix was updating their app daily. You know, they were looking at that data all the time, just like I was when I was running a brand store. Father's Day hit, I send that email out. I could tell you how much money is on it. I could tell you revenue and profit because that measurement was so important. When you have the P&L, when you have a profit and loss center to manage, oh, you learn how to measure real quick. But your analytics and your setup is not just measuring your money, it's about measuring your engagement. There could be vital nuggets that you're missing. Oh, are you posting everywhere all the time? Sure. But you might learn that one of the platforms is doing way better for you in terms of delivering your actual customer or the actual results you want. So take the time and set up your analytics and your tracking. It's very, very important. Week 3, your brand strategy, because now you figuring out where you fit. Where you fit. I always tell people mission, vision, and values. If you don't know them, your audience sure won't. If you don't know your mission, vision, and values, listen, then this is a great time to work on them because you need to know them and you need to be able to tell them. Your brand positioning. Oh, you compete with this company, but you're cheaper? Oh, you compete with that company, but you're faster. Oh, that comparison is what your customers are going to draw. Oh, Marty is selling a hat. Oh, I was going to buy a hat from George. I wonder what's so good about Madia's hat. I like Madia. I'm going to check out her hat. You see? So you have to think through your brand strategy, your positioning, and think through your customer journey. Customer journey. It is so important. Now, I've had some customers say, let me take the author. I've had a few authors as clients, but I had this author so great, and he said, I have my book and I'm ready to put it out and we're going. And I said, great. What's our goal? Said, we're going to sell 50 books a month. I said, wow, 50 books, huh? That's great. How many books did you sell the previous month? He said, none, Maria. This is new. But what gave you the sense that you were going to sell 50? Do you have an email list of 50 people and you anticipate that every one of those is going to purchase? And he said, no, I'm just setting a goal. I said, great. We set the goal. Then we have something to measure it to. People are scared of setting goals. Don't be scared to set your goal for your business. It is so very important, even if you fall short. Isn't it better to know? Isn't it better to know? It's better to know. Just trust me. You might not think it's better to know, but it's better to know. You want to understand how folks feel about the work that you're doing, about the brand that you're presenting, and you can fine tune that strategy. We're going to be talking about influencers and technology throughout, but this is about your brand strategy foundation. Take the time with it. Take the time. It is so very, very important. So we're going to finish it up here with week 4, your logo and your visual identity and design. I'm not ever going to tell you to show up sloppy. I'm not ever going to tell you to show up sloppy. Never. Never. You won't get that from me. What you will get from me is be strategic, but make sure your design is on point. Yeah, it's important. Make sure your strategy is sound, like your health, like you feel good. But then get yourself together, right? Your presentation, your logo, and your visual identity and design. And I would say the very heart of your brand, that, and the look and the feel of your brand. The heart of your brand can come across in your logo and your visual design. If you want something that says that you care, if you want something that shows the values of your brand, you can dig really deep and design something that is going to be remembered as you use it. So please think about your logo and your visual identity and design. So those are the first 4 segments of Brand Camp. And I'm just really excited to show you all them and take you all through them. Now, I wanted to stop the presentation and just share some of the questions that I've been getting. Let me see quickly what comments and what questions. I have some that folks submitted early via email. Okay, so what things do I need to measure for my brand? Okay, what things do you need to measure for your brand? Okay, first, if you are online, I would say it's very important to measure your website engagement through Google Analytics and measure your engagement on the social media platforms. If you have a professional profile or not, you can see certain analytics. You can have a professional profile that may show you more depending on the social media network. But you want to be able to understand how you're engaging people, how your social media is contributing to the traffic on your website or to your business directly. Some folks can one click and buy from their Instagram, right? And so, how is Instagram driving the purchases at your business? These are all things that you can measure if you have those measurements in place. And when do you need them in place? Before. Before. You need to have your measurements set up before, your systems set up before. When you go and download this BrandCamp roadmap, do you think that I am emailing it to you? Or do you think I've set up a system that will email you promptly and send you the attachment and the link? Hallelujah. Okay. To your email address right after you sign up for it. So get the roadmap, start walking through it. I want to help your business. I want to help you amplify your business. And you do that by setting a strong brand foundation and then watching your brand work for you. So reach out if you'd like some help. You can go to the Logan PR website and schedule a consultation. I don't see any questions coming through just yet, but I'm happy to answer them on the Logan PR page or when I go live next to talk about the next 4 segments of Brand Camp. But please be well, reach out if you have any questions, and thank you for checking it out. All right, talk to you soon.